What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In the last video, I got the OEM turbo and manifold out of the Evo. I did actually have full intentions of installing the new turbo and manifold in this video, but with the extra torque and horsepower being added, I was missing one key component, and that is a new clutch. This thing does still have the factory clutch in it. I was able to get in contact with a previous owner. He told me that it is the factory clutch. The car is still running good. It's holding good right now. The last time that I drove it, I do know that the previous owner had this thing tuned on E85. The Evo has 64,000 miles on it, so it's definitely due for a change. So for this video, I'm going to be removing the transmission and clutch. Stay tuned. This is the new clutch and flywheel that I'm going with. It is the ACT Streetlight Flywheel. They have a little bit lighter weight one called the Pro Light, but I wanted to go with this one to have a little bit more OEM feel. And then for the clutch, it is the heavy duty pressure plate, and it's the Street Sprung clutch plate. This clutch and pressure plate are supposed to be good for around 510 foot-pounds, which is plenty for the stock bottom end on these Evos. If you didn't see the last video, go check it out. I took the OEM turbo and manifold out of the Evo. And if that doesn't interest you, you can at least go watch me struggle for hours trying to get these studs out, and I never got them. I welded multiple nuts on there and they just kept snapping off on me. I tried PB Blaster at the bottom. I tried a torch at the bottom to try to heat it up. So if anyone knows how to get that out, drop a comment below. Aside from that, it wasn't too bad. While I was under the car, I decided to go ahead and pop the little hole off of the bottom down there. This is the one for the top. And then when I looked inside, I could see that it was the OEM clutch. I contacted the previous owner. I still had his phone number, and he did message me back and tell me that it is the same clutch from the factory. The car has around 64,000 miles on it, so it's got 64,000 miles on it, which is a decent amount for these things, especially if you're ripping it pretty often. Clutches are not cheap, and it wasn't really something that I wanted to go ahead and replace, but the three hardest bolts to get to are actually behind the turbo, and that's what makes this so difficult. But having the turbo off of here, I can get right to those bolts, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue, and the intake is already off. I know that all of this has to come out so that you can get to this mount down here for the transmission, but I definitely don't need to worry about that right now. That's pretty much the last step. For now, I'm just going to get everything disconnected up top, the shifter link cables, these plugs right here. I'm going to try to get the slave cylinder undone, and then I'll have to work on doing the dreaded throwout bearing. Shifter linkages are disconnected. I've got them zip tied up here. Two plugs and then the one bracket holding them down. I went ahead and removed the bracket holding the intake in. It was just two bolts. There's actually supposed to be one underneath, but this one was missing. I took the two bolts out to remove the slave cylinder, and then I got it wrapped around here and then zip tied to the corner. I'm not gonna worry about the throwout bearing just yet. I'm gonna go ahead and move to the side of the car. It's obviously still jacked up already from when I pulled the turbo. I will probably have to jack it up a little bit higher when I actually drop the tranny. Driver side and passenger side CV axles have to come out. Most of the work is done on the driver's side over here, but the passenger side does have to be done too, so that you can actually separate the transfer case. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the driver's side over here. I'm gonna get the wheel off. I'm gonna get the hub assembly disconnected from the strut up top, get it folded down, and then get the axle nut taken off, and then I can pull the CV axle out of there. Driver's side axle is out of the hub. Wheel came off super easy. Cotter pin and the axle nut came off. You do have to have a 32mm socket. It's a pretty big one. And then I've seen it done both ways where you remove this bolt down here and then you can pull the axle out that way. I went ahead and did it up top. It is 2 bolts, but I think it's going to give me a little bit more room to actually get everything behind there. There is one nut holding the bracket on right here, and then there is one bolt back here that's holding the bracket for this line. And these 2 bolts, one thing that I learned is if you're using an impact like I am, do it on the nut side, don't do it on the bolt side. I was hammering on that thing on the highest setting on my big boy here. It would not budge, but as soon as I put it on the nut side, it actually took that nut right off. Once you get those nuts off, I just put the jack on the bottom of the rotor here to take just a little bit of pressure off. I could push in, and then I was able to just wiggle those bolts right out of there. After that, it's just maneuvering this thing down and then pulling the axle out. I did use a little rubber mallet here on this side to kind of help pound it out. Driver's side is all done. I'm going to go knock out the passenger side. I'm just going to time lapse everything, and then I will get the transmission fluid drained, get the transfer case fluid drained, and then I can get these axles out of there. Both CV axles are out of the Evo. This is the driver's side. This is the passenger side. I picked up this slide hammer kit at Harbor Freight. It worked out perfectly. And then I've got all these little attachments. And then I picked this up at AutoZone. This is specifically for removing CV axles. You don't actually purchase this. It's part of their rent-a-tool program. You basically pay the price of the tool, keep it as long as you want. If you ever want to return it, just take it back up there and they'll give you a full refund. If you do want to end up keeping it, you just keep it and you obviously already paid for it. It's a really good program for really expensive items that you don't use very often. The problem that I ran into on this one is it's just slightly too small for the Evo axles. I just did a couple of minutes on the grinder on each side and it fits on there perfectly now. It slides on there just like that. You screw your slide hammer in and then just bang it out. This is usually how it would come out. However, on the passenger side, it did pull the little connecting rod for the transfer case and the transmission. For the driver's side, I was told that this one does have to come out even though the passenger side stub came out as well. This one is kind of difficult if you don't have the right tool. Ideally, this is what you would like to use. You just put your bolt through there, it threads into the end, and then your slide hammer threads into that and you can just pop it right out. The problem is that this stub takes an M8 bolt and it is too big to fit through there. My last resort was going to be to drill that out. But I was able to take one of these little attachments here. I threaded the bolt straight through one of those and then put the slide hammer through where it threads into. This thing is kind of awkward to fit in there, but it does kind of fit in. With the big washer on there, I had a little bit of room to play, so I just threaded it in there, kind of pulled at an angle, and it eventually popped that C-clamp out. Now that the axles are out, I can go ahead and start separating the transfer case from the transmission. I did get a little ahead of myself and went ahead and removed this bar. It's just 3 12mm bolts, one there, and then one on the end. I'm going to go ahead and remove this front motor mount for the transmission. It's one bolt and nut right here. You've got a couple of bolts right here, one in the back. And then I can start removing these bolts for the transfer case. There's 3 on the bottom, one right here, and then on the opposite side, you've got one right up in there. Up top, I have these 2 bolts right here, and then I have to remove this heat shield. There's 3 small bolts right here, and there's one right over there on the back side. Once you remove that, there's one more very long bolt going all the way through. I'm gonna get the motor mount on the bottom taken off. I'm gonna get all the bolts on the transfer case taken off, and then I'll start working on getting this thing separated. Not really necessary, but I do have a jack supporting the transmission now. It's still held on by both of the side mounts. I got the little cross member going all the way back, and then I removed the bracket for the front motor mount. I got all of the bolts connecting the transfer case to the transmission taken out. That small bracket and then the rest of the bolts up top. The other thing that I went ahead and did is I disconnected the rear motor mount back there. If you put just a slight bit of pressure on the back of the transmission, it will ease all the pressure off of that bolt. I just put a wrench on this side to hold the nut down, and then I used my impact on the bolt and it came right out. And then the last thing that I did was remove all of this stuff so I could get that bracket removed from the top. You've got one bolt that sits up here, you take that out, and then you can loosen this and just push it off to the side. You've got one nut holding the big wire to the power distribution block. You do have 2 connections here for the boost controller, and then 2 little 12mm bolts to take out. My vacuum lines were already all disconnected from the turbo, so I was able to just pull mine out. You have to remove these wire harnesses for the ECU. When these black pieces are pushed forward, all you have to do is just press this down. This black thing will slide back, and then you can pull these straight out of there. You've got a few clips holding all of these things in. Just remove all of those little clips. You have 2 bolts, one there, and you've got one on the inside right there, one nut all the way over here to this side, and that bracket comes right out of there. It gives me full access now to this transmission mount. I should just have a few more things to do before I can drop this transmission out. I need to release the throwout bearing from the little retainer ring on the inside there. I need to remove all of the bolts still connecting the transmission to the engine. I'm going to actually drop the subframe down a little bit. Lastly will be to take this transmission mount out. I'm not going to be doing that today. I'm actually going to call it quits for today. I don't want to have to drop this transmission by myself. I want to have an extra pair of hands. So I will catch back up with you guys later this weekend, and we'll get this thing out of here. Transmission is out of the Evo. Releasing the throwout bearing was actually a piece of cake. I was able to get it on my 4th try. It only took me about 10 minutes, but that was actually not a problem at all. I was really afraid about that. The subframe is dropped to get a little bit of extra clearance. What I did is just completely remove the front 2 bolts, and then for the rear one on the driver's side and the passenger side over there as well, I just pulled it out about halfway. Keeps you from having to drop the whole thing, but it does give you a lot more room to get that transmission out. All of the bolts holding the bell housing on were pretty easy to get to. For the transmission mount on the side, you've got 2 nuts on these 2 studs, and then you've got 1 on this one. I took this mount out so I had a little bit more clearance so that this thing wasn't hitting anything. I had to drop the motor and transmission down a little bit so that I could get to this bottom bolt. I had a couple of friends come over so that they could actually help me drop this thing. Travis and Cody, if you're watching this, I truly appreciate your help. While we were actually trying to wiggle this out of there, Cody noticed that it was hitting this mount in the back. A couple of the videos that I watched showed that this did have to be taken out, but I didn't see the reason why, and now I do. To reach all of these from the top, I had to use all of these little extensions. This 14mm swivel socket has come in handy so many times. But once we got this bracket out of the way, this thing was able to shimmy right off of there, and we were able to drop it down. I decided not to remove the clutch in this video. It is very simple. It's just a few bolts holding the pressure plate and the flywheel on. I want to swap it out in the same day. I don't want to have to wait. So since I'm not installing the new one today, I'm going to wait on doing that. The hard part is just getting this thing out and then getting it back in. So 50% of the way with it being out. I am going to end the video here. If you liked it, please smash that like button. If it helped you out with pulling your own transmission, go ahead and smash that like button. If you want to see the new ACT clutch going back in here and then the new turbo going in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.